championship game at stake today for Memphis and Houston. They're both going bowling, but they'd love a stopover in Orlando and a shot at a championship along the way. We're hoping for more of the same because the last 3 meetings have all been decided in the final 90 seconds. In 2015, it was Houston. 2016, Memphis got the upset. And then last year, en route to a berth in the AAC championship game, it was Memphis with the late win over the Cougars, who are your 2015 conference champs. And the Memphis Tigers are getting set for the run out. A big win last weekend to keep their hopes alive, and now they get a chance to host the Cougars, knowing that the winner moves on to play next week. And here come the Tigers. And we welcome you to the Liberty Bowl here in Memphis. Beth Mowens, Anthony Becht, and Rocky Boyman as well. A spot in the championship game on the line, Anthony, for 2 of the top 7 scoring teams in the country.
2 teams that don't love each other much. It's become a bit of a rivalry game, but really there's 2 price of admission guys that are on this field today. Houston's got Ed Oliver, a premier defensive lineman, hasn't played the last couple weeks, and there's been some tension with Jacket Gate last week with his head coach. We'll see him today on the field, and he'll go against Darrell Henderson from Memphis. If you think you've seen some of the best running backs in the country, you better watch this kid, because this guy can really rack up the yards.
One of the 3 finalists for the Doak Walker Award as the best running back in the country. Caden Novikov set to kick it away. Houston in all white, Memphis in the all dark jerseys. Tony Pollard, the All-American kick returner, is back deep. And this one will sail over his head and out to the 25. And a look at Darrell Henderson.
Number 2 rusher in the country, and really it's about his speed, quickness, and his shiftiness. He has tremendous vision as a tailback, and that's why he's one of the best in the country. And you've got to find out. This is a business decision. How do you square this guy up? Because if you don't, he's going to run right by you. And yes, he can catch the ball as well, folks. A complete back out of the backfield. Watch as he towards his body, scores the touchdown. He is a handful for this Houston defense today.
Over 1,500 yards rushing. He needs 109 yards today to set the American single-season record. And he's got Ed Oliver up against him. Number 10 in white along that D-line is back out there for the Cougars for the first time in a month. He's been out for the last 4 games with a knee injury, wearing a brace, and back out there in the lineup. And today, pregame, Anthony, he has been hearing it from this crowd, chanting, "Where's your jacket?" Ed, in reference to the dust-up with his coach last week on the sideline.
Well, regardless of all that hoopla, Beth, the one thing we do know is he is disruptor in the backfield. He can win every one-on-one block. Coach Norvell talked about, listen, we can't leave him alone with our guys one-on-one. We has to have help on him. And right now he's been lining up on the outside. We haven't seen him over the center quite yet.
We'll try to run on 3rd and 4, and Henderson will be a couple yards short. It's 4th down. Rocky?
Hey, guys, I was watching Ed Oliver up close during warm-ups. Did not look limited whatsoever. Was cutting left, cutting right. Looked like a guy that was ready to come out here and do some damage from a body language standpoint. And you mentioned it, Anthony. He lined up all 3 of those snaps at defensive end. Houston is very depleted at the defensive end position. Probably a way to account for that.
No Oliver in that defense. That was pregame, pretending to put the jacket on.
The one thing I worry about him, Beth, is his conditioning. He hasn't played 4.5 or so games. How many snaps can he take in this game against Memphis?
He won that first matchup with the defensive unit, forcing Memphis to kick it away. And so now our first look in a fresh week without De'Aaron King, their All-America candidate at quarterback, who was hurt last season. He's out for the year, so it's the first start for true freshman Clayton Toon out of Carrollton, Texas.
I know he's got the arm talent. He showed that on film. He's not as playmaker running-wise as King is, but he's got some good awareness, but he just lacks experience. You know, Coach said he's very raw as a football player.
And how about this? Throwing deep. And his first play of the day, incomplete, looking for Marquez Stevenson. T.J. Carter had the coverage. He does have a pretty good back alongside him in Patrick Carr, who had 139 yards rushing and a couple of TDs last week.
I expect a heavy dose of him coming off his best game, like you said, Beth.
They'll use him in play action here, so they'll start out Toon with a couple of pass plays. Clayton will leg it out for 9.5. And it'll be 3rd down and short. J.J. Russell and Curtis Akins, their leading tackler, forced him out.
And like we said, doesn't have the speed of King, but he can get out of the pocket. In high school, over 20 touchdowns, over 1,500 yards rushing throughout his career, so he'll be able to create the big play.
Quick snap here on 3rd down, and Patrick Carr will get the 1st down yardage, muscling his way out to the 40. 5'10", 205-pound junior out of the Woodlands, Texas, who started out his career at Colorado. And then transferred in to join Houston, 8-3 on the season. And Toon gonna throw another deep ball. This one's a bit short and almost intercepted by Carter. Intended for Keith Corbin.
Well, that's twice now. 2 really underthrown balls. He's got a big arm. He's got to lay this ball, let his receivers get it. That was to Corbin, who had a little space between the DB. And on the first play of the game, he also had Stevenson, but he wasn't able to lay the ball out for his receivers to run and catch.
They've gone after T.J. Carter twice now. He was the conference rookie of the year last season and a freshman All-American. Number 2 right there, the sophomore out of Nashville. Carr on 2nd down, nice cutback, slices out across the 45. Romello Brooker, the tight end, with a nice block and a gain of 7.
Well, this offense has been so dynamic. 4th in scoring, 4th in total yards. Major Applewhite said he wasn't going to change anything up. I feel like Carr at the back, on the back end, should get a heavy dose today, maybe over 20 carries.
They'll let Toon toss it out of the backfield here to Stevenson, and he's got 1st down yardage into Memphis territory and a pickup of 8.
One thing guys really noticing, Houston is going especially fast, and that's key because Memphis likes to do a lot of things defensively, give the quarterback a lot of looks. So I think they want to create a very clear picture for Toon here.
True freshman who comes from a football family. Almost intercepted again. That's twice that a DB has had hands on. Josh Perry couldn't hold it.
So I'm a play caller right now. I've tried 3 passes down the field. He's underthrown a bunch of them. Probably should have had 2 interceptions. That was dropped there by number 4, Perry. Let's get my quarterback in a groove now. Let's get some short passes. He is a true freshman. I know you want to match the offensive prowess you've had during the season, but you also got to be in tune of your young quarterback's skill set.
Kendall Briles is the play caller in his first year. He was at Florida Atlantic last year. And a 1st down throw there to the tight end, Romello Brooker. It's an offense that, behind De'Aaron King, scored about 48 points a game and 540 yards per game of total offense.
And King had 50 touchdowns this year that he did running and passing, so that's a lot of offense not to have.
Flag down, Toon, another deep throw towards the end zone, touchdown. It's caught by Terry Mark. Let's see if it'll stand with the flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Major Applewhite is not holding back in this game for this young quarterback.
33-yard TD.
Offside on the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
What a start for the true freshman Clayton Toon to find Terry Mark for the score.
Yeah, it's an inside corner route here, and he just kind of keeps it high. It's really the pass, but Mark is able to stride past the defender, and the ball's dropped in the basket. Listen, you know, maybe I'm wrong about this quarterback. Toon throwing it down the field early, one becoming a touchdown.
PAT is good. Houston with the early lead on the road. The true freshman quarterback liking it. Oh, don't cry yet, little fella. There's still plenty of time for your Memphis Tigers, but it's Houston that gets on the board first. 9 plays, 73 yards in under 2 minutes with true freshman Clayton Toon. The 33-yard touchdown pass to Terry Mark, the second of the season for Terry, the junior out of Lufkin, Texas. And the early 7-0 lead. The winner of this one will meet UCF for the conference championship next Saturday afternoon. Yet to be seen if UCF will be unbeaten in that game. They still have to play USF this weekend. It's coming up next. And Drew Kaiser making his 50th career start. That entire offensive line has been together every game this year. And they also were doing a little talking this week, Anthony. I hate them, said Kaiser. Ain't nothing real coming out of H-Town. Trayon Tate also got in on it. And that quote from Kaiser, Ed Oliver mentioned that pregame, psyching up his teammates before this matchup with Kaiser and company.
Well, close to 100 starts between those two linemen. Let's see if they can back it up today when they get their chance against Oliver.
Well, they just double-teamed Ed and were able to run by him for a few there off the left side as Oliver has moved to the other side here.
Yeah, again, get a couple bodies. You see the tight end double teaming coming off. Just making sure they account for him so he doesn't disrupt the football game. And look at the yards that Henderson was able to get because of it.
That was Trayon Tate making his 47th start up front. That pass batted into the air, incomplete, and that was Ed Oliver that got a piece of it. Obviously, his numbers are down this year because he's missed 4 games, but he was good enough before the year started. He's the ESPN preseason player of the year.
Well, even when you got 2 guys on him, he can still separate you. Now, that's not the answer to the puzzle because he can definitely still create madness. I expect a big game. He looks fresh today in this football game.
Taylor will run up the game, and Taylor's still going. Hold down, and a flag at the end of the play inside the 30-yard line. Alexander Myers may have gotten the face mask to bring him down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 10. Out the distance, penalty enforced from the end of the run, 15 yards, first down.
57 yards on this, Anthony.
Yeah, we talked about it right down the gut, and watch Magnifico. He's back in the game. He makes a key block. And this is what springs one of the best tailbacks in football. Watch till he hits the hole. There's a defender there, but you gotta square the back up if you're gonna tackle him. Going to the side's a big mistake, and that's a huge play for Memphis.
Taylor down to the 15. We believe Ed Oliver was having an issue with his helmet. They just ran the helmet back over to him to put it on. He kept turning around looking, hey, where is it? I got to get out there and help my guys. And now he's back in the game.
Close that menu of plays now. You got to go back to what you normally were doing for Memphis here with him back at the football game.
Red zone opportunity, 2nd and 7. Trying to tie this game up. Taylor caught in the backfield. Deontay Anderson with some good pressure. They will keep Oliver on the outside, and the throw down to the 12-yard line is caught by Coxie.
Here's the problem on defense, Beth. You just got Fleming, who's injured. He's 300 pounds. Number 23, the true freshman, Willie Smith, he's 245. So you got some problems in the middle right now for Houston if they can't get it back. Fleming back on the field, and it's a good job.
Short of the first down marker, though, so the field goal unit is on. Riley Patterson, 29-yarder, becomes a 35-yarder, and it is good for Riley Patterson. Memphis will settle for the 3 in a winner-take-all. A trip to the AAC championship game on the line. Patterson to kick it off. And this one deep and out of the end zone. Back to Houston here with the 7-3 lead from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. Beth Mullins, Anthony Beck, and Rocky Boyman. And how about the first quarter so far for Clayton Tune?
Yeah, he came out swinging a bunch of deep balls to start the game. He did connect on one, but the last 4 passes incomplete. Can you get this young player in a flow? I still believe that's the way to go about it in this game today, is get him confident with some completions.
Mulbacar will carry it down about a yard shy.
Good to see Carr back. Missed the last 2 games, Beth. Fresh legs to help out the running game.
Tune keeps and dives for the first down. And a gain of 4. brother was a college quarterback, Nathan, at North Texas. He's been around the game his whole life. Carr gets to the outside, breaking a tackle, and close to another first down as they continue to move up-tempo behind the true freshman Clayton Toon, who is replacing the injured De'Aaron King. Hurt last week, a knee injury that knocked him out for the rest of the year. De'Aaron had been responsible for 50 touchdowns, and here was the unfortunate injury, non-contact. He's spot shadowed there.
That is just awful.
Our best wishes to De'Aaron. We understand he has had his surgery and is resting comfortably at home watching this game. That one tipped incomplete by Sanchez Blake.
I'll tell you one thing I'm noticing, Memphis, because De'Aaron King is not in the game, a runner like that, you got to play a lot of zone and keep your eyes back. But Memphis has been able to play a little bit more man-to-man without quite as much threat to run in two.
A lot of hands for Memphis touching the football when the quarterback throws it. I'm not saying that's going to lead to something down the road, but they're starting to get a feel for what he's doing with the football.
Big hit at the 25-yard line. Sanchez Blake taking down Patrick Carr.
A lot of young defenders in the secondary. Blake is one of them, a redshirt freshman. This is how you track the ball, and you hit him low. You don't take those bad, poor shots. Gets the big back down. It's a huge play to set up this 3rd and 6.
Pressure coming. They'll blitz a couple linebackers, and miscommunication there with the quarterback and Keith Corbin. One went short, one threw long. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, hard to tell who that's on against some very young receivers for both teams. I would suspect the short pass is where they wanted to go to get the instantaneous first down. Looks like now they're milling around, potentially going for it on 4th down.
They need to get down inside the 19 here on this 12th play of the drive, and they will keep the offense out there. Pressure coming, down he goes. Bryce Huff with his 9th sack of the season.
Number 1 in TFLs, number 1 in sacks on the football team. And again, he's right here going one-on-one. And can you win your one-on-one matchups going against the Junior Williams? And he does. He'll track you down. He's not the biggest rush end in college football. He's only 6'3", 245, but he has a presence about himself to make plays, and he's been doing it the entire season.
He's such a powerful kid, too, Anthony. Watched him on tape all week, and then right there, he really does a good job holding the point of attack, but then he also has the speed on the rush.
So now it's back to the Memphis offense, which has been quiet, 85 total yards. And here's a little noise. Howard, the playmaker, hauled down at the 25.
Coach Norvell said Tony Pollard is the most versatile football player on his team. He'll be in the backfield. He'll be a receiver right there. When the guys catch the football, what they haven't done, they can make big plays. Excellent job by Pollard.
44 yards there. Play action. And the pass incomplete. It was a little bit behind Pollard.
Starting to see some of these splash explosive plays by Memphis. Had a big run by Henderson a couple series ago now with the pass play. The quick pass game on the outside. Starting to get into a little bit of a flow offensively.
That big run actually was Taylor. Henderson has been quiet so far. Just 5 rushes, 13 yards. He'll get the call here. Oliver slowed him down in the backfield, but he picks up a few to the 22-yard line. And that, let's see, will that be the last play of the quarter here? And it will be 7-3. Houston with the lead over Memphis, winner to the AAC championship game. This is college football on ABC, presented by Jared. And we'll continue from Memphis after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Jared. Some of the Houston faithful trying to stay warm today here in Memphis as we get set to start the second quarter. Cougs leading the Tigers 7-3. And a big third down coming up here from Memphis from the Houston 23-yard line. Throw to the near side receiver screen. And the spot looks good for Memphis to get a first down to Coxie. And then some extracurriculars at the end of the play.
Talk about it being a little bit of a rivalry between these two schools.
Here we go, fourth down and short. I formation, and they'll shift out of it. Taylor reaches behind him to make the catch, and it's first and goal, Tigers.
Well, they did a little pre-snap movement to try to get him offside. Didn't work. And then, man, this is a risky pass. If that tackle doesn't cut down that end on the outside, that could be seriously knocked down. Great job of execution by Memphis.
Travion Tate on that left side of the line, making sure that didn't happen. Two tight end set here. They'll run it. A seam up the middle. Touchdown, Memphis. Patrick Taylor, 7 yards out.
Make sure he's in. There's a significant difference, Beth, when number 6 is in the game. 6'3", 225 pounds. He's hard to miss, but he's hard to tackle as well for a defense.
5 carries, 71 yards for Patrick, and the PAT is good. 10-7 Tigers.
When in doubt, give it to the big back. Taylor getting the job done up the middle. Touchdown, Memphis.
53 degrees today in Memphis, but it feels colder than that right now. And a 10-7 lead for the home team. They've scored the last 10 points to grab the lead. The winner will play UCF down in Orlando next week in the American Championship game on Saturday afternoon on ABC. Oh, the upstate New York, little Western New York representing Tony Becht. First and 10 here for Houston, and the pass incomplete, broken up by T.J. Carter.
Coach Lightfall's done a really nice job at Buffalo, making them contenders this year very quickly. But here we go now with Toon getting the ball back, and they get some completions to help this young man in the passing game.
Off the pump fake, down he goes, sacked again, the second time today. It's linebacker J.J. Russell.
It's a nice job. They're trying to show him like he's going to come out, and then he's going to go around. He's selling it here, and then he wraps around the outside. Toon loses his eye contact with him, and they get a big play.
Quick snap on third down into coverage, incomplete. A handful of guys had a chance to grab it, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, did you ever play this game back in the day called Hot Potato, Beth? Check this out. Receiver's not even established. It's a watch it. Whoa, everybody's got a chance to get that ball.
If Memphis' defense could catch it, they'd have about 4 interceptions today.
Well, you know what they say about defenders.
That's right. I set you up for that, man. You're welcome.
4th and 21. Memphis is going to send 2 guys back deep here. Pollard and Pop Williams at their own 35-yard line. Dane Roy thinking about it and gets the running rugby-style kick away. Twirling around in the wind. Will take a couple of good Houston bounces, and it's picked up. And on the run, back out to the 50-yard line is Williams. Pollard They try a lot of different ways to get the ball in his hands, and that's why he'll run for a first down inside the 40. Just for the sake of some good chaos for the playoff committee, I'd like to see Washington State win that game against Washington, get a shot at Utah in the Pac-12 championship game, see if they can stay with one loss. I know as reporters, we all think more Mike Leach is a good thing. That's Darrell Henderson tripped up. Still yet to have his breakout moment today. The second leading rusher in the country has been held to just 24 yards so far.
Well, they really go with the hot hand as well. He's been the hottest throughout the year, but Taylor had 20 carries last week.
Another drop ball. That was Pollard on the slide trying to catch it.
And guys, just wondering about the endurance level of Ed Oliver. This series in particular, to me, it looked like he's started to get worn down a little bit. Hasn't practiced much in the last month. Something to watch.
The hands on his waist right now. His tempo's moving for Memphis.
Missed the last 4 games with a knee injury. Returning for the first time here today. All-American last season. Led FBS in tackles for loss. A real menace in the backfield. They will run away from him for the first down. It's Darrell Henderson. And a gain of 4.
And Henderson put on 15 pounds of muscle in this offseason. You can see it's paying off.
Junior out of Batesville, Mississippi, a finalist for the Doak Walker Award, part of the Home Depot College Football Awards on ESPN, December 6th. They'll run it. Henderson with a stiff arm and a bounce for a couple.
I'm telling you, man, if you decide to go tackle him, you better bring it because he will run you over. Isaiah Johnson just came up from the sideline and just got knocked down.
And you see Houston defensive line coach A.J. Bloom out on the field, obviously upset. His guys keep jumping off sides.
2nd and goal.
Thought he was in the booth.
Touchdown. Joey Magnifico, the tight end. Anthony.
It's a great job, and he's going to sell this a little bit. He's right here. He's going to block and slide in the middle. Just sell it, bait the defense a little bit, and then sneak into the seam here. 2 touchdowns last week. Gets a touchdown today. Heck of a job by the tight end.
17 unanswered points for Memphis. They go 50 yards in 8 plays, just over 2 minutes. And they've opened up the 10-point lead.
Nice job selling it. You got to suck the linebackers in, and good concentration. Brady White had to throw the ball slightly onto the inside part of Magnifico's body, and he does a nice job at tracking it and bringing it in. And the game manager, that's what Mike Norvell talks about. He's that guy that leads them down the field. Good balance so far for this Memphis team running and pass. That's how good it sounds. I'm sure Twitter will let me know.
Of course. Short kick. And the fair catch down to the 20, out to the 25. Well, Kevin, we saw some offense from Houston their very first possession that resulted in a touchdown. But 4 of their last 5 drives have resulted in 3 and outs. And the throw for a first down here across midfield. And a good hookup with Marquez Stevenson. We've seen a lot less groundwork than we had anticipated, Anthony.
Yeah, I'd like to see more groundwork. Help your quarterback be more effective. That's a very good pass play they just ran there. Very decisive route. Stevenson's their best receiver, 5 100-yard games on the season. But get the ball to these tailbacks to give you that balance you need.
They went with the Wildcat there to Grant Stewart, who is a converted defensive back. Played some QB in high school, but they've really had some issues with the injuries at the running back spot. And now it's back to the air and to the outside to Marquez Stevenson, their leading receiver. He's had 5 games this year with over 100 yards receiving, and they're speeding up the tempo again.
Tell you what, running the ball also opens up the play action pass. It was a good job right there. After the run, they play action, held those linebackers a little bit.
A Wildcat here, Beth.
Stewart flips it to Stevenson, and a great push to hold the edge by the Tigers and Bryce Huff.
This is just a tough block for the tight end to make, coming all the way across, trying to block the best pass rusher on the football field. You got to put your players in a circumstance to be good, and right there, very poor selection, in my opinion, to block up Huff off the edge.
That's a long, long block you got to make on a very good player. You're right.
Loss of 6 there. More play action, and the throw to the outside once again. That's Raylan Singleton with the grab, but it's going to be a 3rd and long situation. The throw across the middle, it's caught inside the 5-yard line and all the way down to the 2 is the tight end Romello Brooker. 28 yards on that strike, and they'll quickly get to the line of scrimmage. Play action, pressure coming, Toon feeling the heat, gets away from it. The throw to the end zone, touchdown.
What a play.
Found Corbin on the backside. Head up by the true freshman to find the open receiver.
Make sure he caught that ball for sure. That could be possibly looked at. Now, was the quarterback's knee down as well when Clayton Toon was scrambling? He looked like he kind of gathered himself. Again, we're watching the football to see if it touched the ground.
It's like they've confirmed it. That was Tim Hart that was pressuring the quarterback. And the PAT is good from Dalton Witherspoon. So it's a 3-point game, 5:46 to go in the first half.
Yeah,
check the QB knee.
Yeah, you know, this is a lot going on. This is a true freshman quarterback. He's about to get pulled down there. I don't know how he keeps his body off the ground. Excellent job. You just see it. He gets his hand down. He's able to keep his foot off. Tim Harp chasing him down from the backside. So right there, that's a great job of balance. And then just to have the awareness to get the ball and throw it to the open receiver in the back of the end zone. That's a true freshman, folks, making a pretty big play to help his football team.
And the backwards high step. So after Memphis had taken control, scoring 17 in a row, an impressive drive, 9 plays, 66 yards for Houston. Out to the 25 from Memphis. Right up the gut and out across the 40 goes Darrell Henderson. 18 more yards in his pursuit of the AAC rushing record this year.
And that's the package, right? The menu of plays when Ed Oliver's not in the football game that Norvell talked about, go right in the teeth of the defense. Huge run.
That is Grant Stewart, number 3 there with the long hair, who's just run up to the line. He's playing both ways today, folks. We've seen him in the Wildcat on offense. And now the weak side blitz. Henderson will run away from it, and he'll scamper for first down yardage. And a nice block by Drew Kaiser in the middle.
This kid's got speed to the edge, Anthony. Really impressive down here.
Protects the ball. A lot of ball security out of him as well. Just does a lot of good things. Again, he's only a junior, Beth, but there'll be some pressures, I'm sure, for him as well.
Memphis trying to pound it out a little bit on the ground. Good trip up by Sprewell to get to Henderson. Both he and Taylor over 60 yards rushing in the half.
It's a good job, you know, just getting in the backfield and disrupting flow. That helps your defenders at least go out and try to make some plays behind the backfield. And you got to do those things against these 2 very good running backs for Memphis.
More runs with Ed Oliver on the sideline right now. Taylor spinning down to about the 36.
Has anything been more obvious that when he's not in the game, that's when their offense flows? I mean, look, he doesn't look like he's breathing heavy. I maybe put him in the football game. I don't know.
To the air, it's picked off. Sprewell, nothing but green grass
I'll tell you what, this was one heck of a job by Sprewell. And Brady White does not turn the ball over often, and he got completely tricked on that interception.
Back-to-back scores for Houston, a PAT to make it a 4-point lead with 4:07 to go in the half. And what a response for the Cougars. 21-17. Houston has the momentum, has the energy. Heading into the locker room. We'll get you to the studio for the Capital One halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Jared. Well, the Memphis Tigers having the advantage in just about every statistical category in that first half, but unfortunately for them, that also included the turnovers and a couple of costly ones that resulted in 14 points. The pick six going one way from Gleason Sprewell, and then Sprewell with the interception on the goal line as Memphis tried to close out that first half with a touchdown. So it's a 4-point lead for the Cougars. The winner will be down in Orlando next Saturday afternoon on ABC to face UCF for the American Conference Championship. Beth Mowens, Anthony Beck, Rocky Boyman. It was a first half of kind of back and forth. It also featured a 17-0 run by Memphis.
Yeah, you know, Brady White, the quarterback for Memphis, 2 unorthodox interceptions. One, they tricked him. Sprewell made a nice play, but the red zone throw was a poor decision by him. They've been running the ball effectively. Now that Houston has the lead, let's see if they work more balance. They came out throwing the ball all over the place, but couldn't complete any passes. I'd like to see more run game for Houston with the lead in this football game to try to knock off Memphis.
Let's check in with Rocky Boyman.
Yeah, Beth, Mike Norvell agrees with you. It has been the turnovers being the difference. Houston has gotten them. Memphis has not. Memphis has dropped 4, if not 5 opportunities for turnovers. Mike Norvell said they will get their chances at those interceptions here in the second half. It's just a matter of can they take advantage.
Houston, which won the toss and deferred, will have it here to start out this second half. On a day they are playing without De'Aaron King, their starting quarterback, hurt last week, out for the season. And it has been the true freshman Clayton Tune, a 33-yard touchdown pass to Terry Mark in that first half. Had some shaky moments early, but then has settled down nicely, engineering a couple of long scoring drives. And the give here is to Patrick Carr, who will run for 10. The other big news, of course, for Houston is the return of Ed Oliver, their All-America defensive lineman, who's been out the last month, and he's back in action here today. Carr on the misdirection. About 19 yards.
In 2 plays. Well, this is what I'm saying, because the offensive line for Houston's actually blocked well when they've run the football. I just think you keep going to it. That opens up the pass game for the true freshman.
And now that'll set up the play action. Tune incomplete. Josh Perry was after the quarterback, and it's third down.
Yeah, the problem there, it's a one-man route. If 5, Marquez Stevens isn't open, there's no one else to get the ball to, and he has to roll out and throw it away. Run the football, continue to do it. Sometimes coaches don't want to do it 3, 4, 5 times in a row because it gets old or stale. I mean, you got to keep going till the defense stops it and see if Memphis does, because I think Carr and company, both of them in the backfield, can make plays.
Well, they only need the 1 yard here on third down.
Major Applewhite is upset about something on the sideline here. Wants an explanation.
It'll be third down and 1 to go.
Busted that play up.
A great penetration by Memphis, but they don't follow the lead blocker. They don't utilize anybody. Be nice if you had someone to run in front of the back to lead it. Instead, they're leaning on one-on-one blocks. And Goodson, number one, helmet off and everything, disrupts the whole play by getting that inside gap penetration and forcing a punt by Houston.
Dan Roy back inside his 30. Pop Williams backpedaling to the 9. He will take it out to about the 14-yard line, a 49-yard punt. Ed Oliver will start out this third quarter over on the sideline for Houston. Henderson picks up a few. Starting out the half, 44 yards shy of the AAC single-season rushing record. Approaching 1,600 for the season. To the flat. Howard, good tackle by Sprewell. But it looks like the spot is a very good one for Memphis. First down.
The referee official was pretty quick on denoting that that was a first down. But again, Sprewell on the spot with the big play. He's been all over the field today for Houston.
Oliver remains off. White, the receiver screen for Pollard. Good second effort by Tony. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds. That's good for another first down to the 37 and again a 13.
He's just slippery, man. You know, he runs into his own guy here. You think the play's dead, and then all of a sudden he just bounces outside. You got to love it about Pollard.
I say also really impressed with the perimeter blocking by the wide receivers for Memphis today.
Henderson around the end. Carries Robinson a couple of yards out to the 45 and a run of 8.
Interesting that Ed Oliver's not in the game. I'll just be honest. It's very obvious that when he's not playing, his defense struggles across the board. It's really when Memphis has played its best.
White off the pump, and now we'll go short to Pollard, who stumbles backwards out of bounds.
So, Anth, what do you think that is? That they're trying to save Ed Oliver for maybe down the stretch if they can keep this game close? What do you think?
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously he hasn't played about 4.5 games. Conditioning could be a factor. I mean, look, you just came out of halftime. I would say you could at least start him at the half.
Yeah,
maybe he's not. Yeah, maybe he's this. You know, look, you played enough snaps and they may be done with it. Maybe he's tweaked something, but right now he doesn't look like he's even jumping to getting this football game.
Taylor on the edge, down to about the 36-yard line. It's an offensive line. All the starters have been together every game. Tate, Parham, Kaiser, Woodard, and Joseph.
And it's not a knock on 23. He's just a true freshman. He's still developing. I mean, that's what he's, you know, he's in a position where he probably wouldn't have been playing if this defensive line was healthy.
Trying to get around the edges, Henderson, who holds that ball nice and high and tight to his chest.
He protects it. I'll tell you, he's been fantastic. He's such a strong runner, and watch him just protect the football. 5 points of pressure. That's the most important thing. You don't ever see him fumble throughout the season. He's been very good controlling that line of scrimmage as well.
3rd and 1, they'll convert it again.
I went to dig back in the film. Remember when Tiki Barber, Beth, fumble return in early his career? See how he gets that ball up into his chest? You see that exact same placement out of Darrell Henderson. He's very cognizant of it when he runs, and he wants to make sure he doesn't make those mistakes.
Play action all day for White, and he missed his man down the middle. Looking for his tight end, Sean Dykes.
Tried a little misdirection, do a lot of trick plays for their tight ends to get open. Crowd wanted a pass interference there, but nice job by laying off the hand there on the back end for Deontay Anderson.
12th play of this drive from Memphis. Good blocking and a big hole off the right side. Touchdown! 28 yards, and it puts Memphis back on top.
How awesome for Sam Kraft, Beth. Injuries throughout his career. One of the few players, only 2, that were here in 2013 when they were at their lowest as a program. banged up throughout the season, got the start today for Senior Day, and he gets rewarded with a touchdown run. Pretty special for him as a senior heading on his way out for Memphis.
181 yards rushing on the day for the Tigers, and they're back in front.
No Ed Oliver in the game. You know what that means. Run the football downhill. They get outside. Nobody's touching the backs right now. Huge play for the senior, Sam Kraft.
Terrific reaction. You talk about a great teammate in Sam Kraft, the sixth-year senior, and what a moment for he and his teammates. The respect that they have for him and what he's done for this Memphis program, fighting through some tough times. And a big score there to put Memphis back on top.
And it's not a gimme touchdown. It's a meaningful touchdown in a game that this team's trying to get to a championship in. So I'll tell you, just awesome effort by him. And he didn't get touched on that run, Beth.
From right here in Memphis, the hometown guy. And Ed Oliver remained over there on the sideline that entire possession, their first possession coming out of the locker room here in the third quarter. So we'll keep an eye on that development, whether or not we'll see more of Oliver, who returns for the first time in a month back from a knee injury. Rocky?
Yeah, you guys got to wonder, we got to wonder about that. Is it a decision by him to stay out? Is he injured? But if it was a coach's decision to keep him out on the first drive to start the second half, that's tough. They have a 13 play right down their throats.
Toon down the middle, caught across midfield. Singleton rambles down to the 41-yard line. 28-yard pickup there.
And they had a touchdown, Beth, there. Ball location.
Carr ran right out of his shoe, so he's got to come out of the game. It's Chandler Smith. They're now down to their fourth stringer in the backfield. Toon feeling some more pressure, and wisely sends that out of bounds. That was Bryce Huff coming after him.
Yeah, you know, they was 3rd and 7, so watch these linebackers kind of flow into the line of scrimmage. A little cross dog. They get caught, and all of a sudden there's a gaping hole for this running back to run, and they're very fortunate to make that open field tackle on the back end by Thomas, or that may be a home run.
2nd and 10. They're blitzing again. And Stevenson felt that one. From Longdre Thomas, it's 3rd down.
Tell you what, when this Memphis defense is in zone, they do such a good job of having their eyes on the quarterback, anticipating and breaking on the football.
That's a big hit. By Thomas again. Making it difficult. Not a lot of 3rd and short opportunities for Houston. See what they got here. This 3rd and long.
Toon, the slant dropped incomplete at the 15-yard line by Stevenson, and it's 4th down. Tyrez Lindsey was able to break it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tight quarters throw. A lot of blue and black jerseys all around the football here. This is a ball that Stevenson would normally take, but he's taking a shot after he tries to catch this ball. Just a one-man route for this offense.
I got to tell you guys, this wind down here is gusting at times, kind of flowing all throughout the stadium. Could be a factor on a long kick here.
To tie it up, a 44-yarder, Dalton Witherspoon. It would be his longest of the season, and it is good. Fighting the wind all the way, ties it at 24. 7:14 to play in the 3rd, all even, with the winner headed to the AAC title game. We got a good one, as we have had the last 3 years that these teams have gotten together. Games decided in the final 90 seconds. In 2015, 16, and 17, and we're headed that way again. The long field goal for the Cougars ties it up at 24. And a chance for Pollard. Weaving his way out across the 40 and outside the 45-yard line. And now a report from the sports information director at Houston. No reason given, but Ed Oliver is done for the day. He will not return.
Well, when he was in, he was a factor. I'll let you know that. Whether it was, knocking balls down, getting into the backfield, driving two defenders. He did jump off sides twice on third down, which were big factors because they both were converted into first downs by Memphis. But right now, he's got his helmet on, so we're being told that he's not coming back in the game.
Pollard down inside the 30. They run right up the gut. Well, it's interesting, too, that they say he's definitely out, because what if it's late in the game in a tight situation? Are you not going to have Oliver back in the game? And whose decision is that? That's what we don't know at this point. Another run right up the gut, down inside the 20. Rocky?
Well, Beth, Memphis sure knows that Ed Oliver is not coming back in this game because they've not put the ball in the air yet this half.
And they're going inside. They're just light. They got true freshmen playing on the inside. We talked about 23 being a little bit undersized right now. Willie Smith, and they're going right in the heart of the defense.
They got numbers on the edge. Down inside the 10 to Slade. About a yard shy, the line to gain.
Pollard in the backfield here, number one. How versatile is he? Running the ball, catching the ball. Kid's been all over the place today for Memphis.
Here's Pollard again. Wrapped up at the 6-yard line by Agbule. But that's good enough for the first down. So first and goal, Memphis.
That's it.
Two possessions for this Memphis offense. Two possessions for a Houston defense without Ed Oliver. Can they make it a 14-0 swing here? Yes, they can. Touchdown, Tigers.
Untouched, Beth, going into the end zone. And Mike Norvell, the head coach, very smart play caller. He sees the weaknesses. We've been talking about it with Ed Oliver out of the game. Rush the ball, 94 rushing yards in the third quarter alone. Goes in untouched for the touchdown. Tony Pollard, the most versatile player on this Memphis offense. Well, where are the problem areas for Houston? Right here. True freshman. Where are you going to run the ball if you're Memphis? Run it to the right. It's very easy blocking here. Nobody's even going to touch Pollard. I mean, everybody, even the receivers getting in on the action, Beth. And look, it's not just no Ed Oliver. It's just they're depleted up front. Yep. It's been tough the entire second half of the season, trying to find bodies to withstand the constant punishment of the offensive line. And you're playing against an offensive front of Memphis that has over 169 starts across the board. It's just tough to do.
4 starters out up front for Houston over the course of the season. Houston scored late in the first half a couple of times in under 2 minutes. Stevenson knocked out of bounds by the punter, kicker Patterson there at the 45. Obakar bouncing to the outside and the midfield.
There's nothing I don't like right now from Houston's running game. I'd love to see more. This drive could be 10 straight runs if they'd like to. I just feel like there's a little bit of an advantage they're not taking in consideration here. Let's see how many times they go to it this series.
Carr puts his head down, may have gotten one. That was Curtis Akins, who's back in there to make the tackle, and it's 3rd down and 4.
As fast as they're going, they got to find a way to convert here on 3rd and short.
throw it out of the backfield for a first down to Singleton. Rocky?
And guys, Mike Norvell is beside himself here on the sideline. I believe they were trying to get a player in. Not sure if it's a D-end or another defensive lineman, but upset there, and they get the first down.
Houston not letting them substitute here either. The bobble and the catch inside the 10-yard line. The spin at the goal line. Touchdown. Keith Corbin. 45 yards.
There you go.
Second TD pass for Clayton Tune, and how about the yak for Corbin? Ties it at 31.
A nice job here. Again, I say run, but they do a good job taking this receiver out. And then here comes Corbin in the middle of the zone. Nobody's home here. Watch this hole open up for Corbin. Linebackers are settled. There's a nice void. That's a really nice pass by Tune. Now, hey, go to work right here, Corbin. Cuts back. Can't bring them down. The extra effort. This is what you like to see out of your team. Again, trusting that hole and void will be there. Catching the ball, which is most important. He caught it twice on that one, but he brought it in. And then keeping your composure into the end zone. That's a huge play.
That I stand corrected. The third touchdown throw today for Tune. A couple of those to Corbin.
You know, I keep saying run the ball, but you know what? It's like Applewhite's looking, man. My guy can throw. We're going to hit one of these passes eventually. I mean, you want to talk about shifting emotions, getting your confidence up and down. You know, he had a rough middle patch there, and all of a sudden you come back, and that'll definitely raise the quarterback's ability to get plays made as a true freshman.
That's going to be kicked out of bounds, and the flag comes out. And that'll put Memphis in good shape. 3 complete and no separation between Houston and Memphis. Fourth quarter still to come from the Liberty Bowl on college football on ABC, presented by Jared. Out of the I formation, Henderson's got it. Henderson shoved out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. And a 19-yard gain and a good block by Dorcius. And Henderson is now just 3 yards shy of the new American single-season rush record.
The more you can do, Dorcius.
Now, Henderson's carrying the ball off the field. I wonder if he thinks he already broke it.
And they have to get that one back in the rotation.
That's unbelievable.
Was he counting his steps? Man.
Taylor bowling his way down inside the 20. He picks up 16.
Is there a better combo right now? I mean, these two guys are ridiculous. You got a guy comes in at 6'3", 225 pounds. His ability to just run right down the throat of the defense. Hard to bring him down. You got Pollard that comes in. He runs the ball effectively. He's got a ton of all-purpose yards today.
How about 203 all-purpose for Tony? 100 yards rushing for Henderson. Taylor's almost there. Taylor is there. Down inside the 5.
Rocky, what's this do to a defense, Rocky, this kind of running? It's unbelievable.
It really is. And tell you what, you mentioned this week, this offensive line, they're small, but they're nasty. I can attest to it. They are really getting after it here up front.
Possession.
There's Drew Kaiser, 54. Ed Oliver obviously hasn't played in the second half.
Anthony, this could be 3 possessions without him and 3 Memphis touchdowns. Second effort by Taylor, denied at the 1-yard line. Egbule stood him up.
Dorcius, 94, still in there. Pushing, trying. I'd hate to meet him in the hole. I'm just saying. I've never played linebacker, but if a deep tackle is coming at me, that's a scary proposition.
This has been the year of the D tackles in the backfield, right?
Yeah. Except some of them are getting the ball. Will they give him the ball on the half-yard line?
Oh. No, but they will follow his block. Touchdown, Taylor. And somewhere, Garland Dorsey is saying, "That away, little brother. Lead the way. Just like you did for me."
Hey, watch this. Brady White is stumbling backwards. Watch what he does. He has to hand the ball off with his right hand here. Watch, he's falling backward. He just gets it in. Good job just putting it right in the belly of Taylor. Nice blocking up front. You're right. And no Ed Oliver, no problem for Memphis as they run the ball now 3 times in the second half for touchdowns.
9 plays, 65 yards in 4.5 minutes. Dorsey is playing both ways. Cannot stop me from getting my guy in the end zone. They got a lot of push-ups to do when these two sides get together. It's now 38-31 Memphis. The Tigers have scored on their 3 second-half possessions to take the lead. The last 3 games between these two programs decided in the final 90 seconds. Building towards that again. 12 minutes to go. So 1st and 10 from the 35. Play clock down to 2. Toon will keep. And we won't get very far. Jackson Dillon with the tackle, the 6th-year man. They have lost a little bit. 2nd and 11. Carr to the 41. It's going to be down at the 45. %50% on 3rd downs today. Toon, can he get there himself? No. Ball down by Perry, and it's 4th down.
It's a nice job. Beating your block, staying home. We haven't seen that design QB run yet. Those last 2 snaps. It's this. They fake the ball inside. Here comes Toon, but there's just defenders outside. Number 4, Perry does a nice job coming off his block and making the tackle.
It's a good job by the linebacker there, of meeting the H-back, the puller, as he was coming, forced that ball to bubble out, and the rest of the guys came.
Punting unit is on. Pop Williams back at the 15 for the Tigers. Williams catches it on the run. Gets away from one guy, but not the cavalry. 36 yards on that boot. 5 on the return. Memphis with the ball and a 1-touchdown lead. This is D'Angelo Henderson, and he has the record. Darrell Henderson breaking, the record.
Yeah, they got the big D tackle in there. Of course, just follow him. Wherever he goes, run, and he gives you that power at the end of the run there as he trucks Deontay Anderson, but pretty impressive. He's only a junior.
So he passes James Flanders, and now he's trying to help Memphis catch the Angelo Williams team from 2005, the best running team in Memphis history. And Darrell Henderson is going to do that and more. Touchdown, Tigers. 60 yards.
Wow. 4 yards, 5 yards, 2 yards, 5 yards. All of a sudden, he breaks one. But not without the help. Watch the fullback, Dorsey, as he makes a block. Look at his speed, folks. 6 foot, 300 pounds, looking to run it down the sidelines. I don't even think Henderson can catch him, for crying out loud. Blocks the safety down the field. Heck, he's looking for somebody else to hit if he can. He almost crossed the goal line before Henderson did. That is awesome. I love it. NFL teams are looking at this guy right now. They may find a hybrid in the defensive lineman playing fullback.
Sophomore backup D lineman out of Spring, Texas. Dorcius leading the way. And Darrell Henderson goes 60 for the score. And Anthony Miller's loving it all on the big screen. The Memphis Tigers have opened this thing up 45-31 over Houston. A big second half. They've scored on 4 of their 5 possessions with Ed Oliver on the Houston sideline. Played in the first half, and then we were told by the Sports Information Department no particular reason was given publicly, but Oliver was out for the second half. He is over on the sideline supporting his teammates. And on the return, they won't get it out to the 20-yard line. Oh, a good one brewing there. Clayton Tune, the true freshman. Ball came out. John Tate with a strip, but Tune was able to get it back.
It's important for Clayton Tune, a freshman, to not try to force a ball into a place that can't go.
2nd and 14. Good defense by the Memphis Tigers. It'll bring up 3rd and long. And here's really what has happened. The story here after that first half. With Oliver playing, Memphis scored 17. Without Oliver playing, they've scored 28. And you got to start to wonder, is this going to be Ed's last game? Memphis will force the punt right here. But barring a big Houston comeback, they won't be in the championship game next weekend. And would Ed Oliver be able to play or available to play in a bowl game? They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Tune in trouble. He's sacked back at the 18-yard line by Jonathan Wilson. And Memphis will take over on downs. As they inch ever closer to a rematch with UCF.
Again, they're just havoc everywhere. Huff comes loose. Everyone's just converting to the ball. And it's all about just hustle. Jonathan Wilson finishes the deal with the sack. And it's been that kind of day for Memphis. This defense has played lights out. If it wasn't for the interception, obviously, the house call for Houston, this would be a lot more lopsided. But it's been a fantastic quarter-to-quarter game for the Memphis defense.
A big day for this Memphis team. Darrell Henderson setting the new AAC rushing record. A big day for him, 177 yards and a 60-yard touchdown. More on the ground right here with Patrick Taylor. They've got 200-yard rushers, and Tony Pollard 100 yards receiving today.
A lot of horses in the stable, right? I mean, you know, and versatility-wise, Pollard's been unbelievable. His all-purpose yards have been off the charts, and they just have so many options. And, you know, Brady White obviously made a couple of mistakes in the first half, late in the first half with 2 interceptions. He's come back strong because of this rushing attack.
And the new fullback, JoJo Dorcius, who's having himself a ball game, holding the edge right there and gets Taylor down inside the 5. 1st and goal.
Now the question is, Ben, do you give a dog a bone? If you get in there within 1 yardish, do you say, you know what, we're going to have some fun with our fullback defensive lineman / versatility player and give him a chance? I don't know. We'll see.
We've already seen the 6th-year senior Sam Kraft, who hadn't had a carry, I think, in 2 years. He's got a 28-yard rushing touchdown today. And Dorcius making an appearance here in the backfield.
A little too far to give him the ball here, Ben.
Taylor. Look at the effort
I hope it's on the half-inch line to give Dorsey a chance.
I'm saying now, this is an area, Rocky, where I would maybe, they got this wrinkle. They've practiced it in practice. It's just a matter of calling it or not.
It's a matter of how much lobbying has Dorsey has done over the last few weeks.
Let's read his lips. Did he say JoJo Special there? I couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. We may be pushing it there. Well, it's actually outside a yard, so I don't know.
Taylor following the big fella.
Yeah.
Short.
Ah.
Third down.
He was met by Owens, number 5. He was hit before the line. Hard to tell where the ball is there.
Henderson, touchdown! His second of the day. On their 6 second-half possessions for Memphis. 4 different guys have run for touchdowns. And here in the second half, they've all come behind Dorsey at fullback.
I'll tell you what, if you got a fullback as big as Dorsey is, it's easy. It's been a big-time day for all these running backs from Memphis, making it happen today in the backfield.
Darrell Henderson is the single-season record holder now in the American Athletic Conference as he sets a new standard. They have run the ball for 247 yards in the second half, scoring on 5 of their 6 possessions without Ed Oliver on the field for that Houston defense. It will be a very interesting post-game press conference to hear why Oliver is unable to play in the second half. And the emotion right now for Ed Oliver.
Yeah, this is interesting. We don't know why. Obviously, I got to assume something happened with his knee, but he's a difference maker today, Beth. We saw it. The first half, they couldn't run the ball like this. Just disappointing, you see the emotion. I'm not quite sure. Definitely need to ask. That's the first question.
Yeah.
Why didn't he play in the second half? And he's clearly upset about this loss. And it's unfortunate.
And the perspective, Anthony, right? Is he going to play in their bowl game, or is a guy who played at Houston because it was so important for his family, a chance to play with his brother? And a guy that, Major Applewhite talked about, he's been a terrific teammate all week in preparation and unable, for whatever reason, to be out there on the field in the second half. And may be the last time we see him in a Houston jersey, although we will have some time to prepare for a bowl game to come in at least a few weeks' time, possibly longer.
And those could be tears of the fact that, maybe the injury didn't allow him to come back in the second half. We don't know. So I can't speculate either way, but he is a difference maker when he's on the field. That's no question.
Projected by, let's see, Todd McShay to go number 2 in the draft. Projected by Mel Kiper this week to go in the top 10 in the draft. And the emotions pouring out of Ed Oliver right now, because when he was out there on the field, they had the halftime lead, 21-17. Big second half for the Tigers. And another sack of Toon. It's Wilson. That's their 5th of the day. And we'll say it again as they start to prep now for UCF. It'll be, the 4th meeting in just over a year. They have been the closest team to coming to end the streak.
Yeah, great job by Wilson splitting the offensive lineman there. But you're right, Beth. I mean, that game that I watched, UCF Memphis, that was down to the wire. They should have won that game. It was terrible weather. It was in this building. Look at another crack at it.
Toon scrambling. Gonna run for it, and he'll have the first down for the 45-yard line. That was a 16-point lead at one point for Memphis, and it slipped away. Toon caught, first down to the 11-yard line. It's Raylan Singleton. Picked up 11 there. Red zone opportunity. Back of the end zone, incomplete. Wyndham with the coverage. 3:16 to go.
And obviously this Houston team, heading into next year, Beth, you talk about the losses, right, with Ed Oliver. How will Eric King come back from the quarterback position? And, can they get some of these guys healthy? A lot of new faces moving forward for Houston.
Toon lost his footing. Third down and long, clock running. Fourteenth play of this drive. But it's cost him 3 minutes plus off the clock. Toon keeping all the way. Down to the 6. Perry and Hall were there, and it's fourth down. Can still get a first inside the 2. But time of the essence, running under 2.5. Toon with time. Back of the end zone, intercepted. T.J. Carter with the pick.
Defense had a lot of opportunities today to get interceptions, Beth. Playing a little hot potato throughout the game. He just tracks this. Nobody's open. Great coverage by the secondary for Memphis, and Carter comes up with a big interception, and as he waves goodbye to some of the Houston fans.
Memphis will take over here at their own 20. And for that Memphis defense, the Ric Flair wrestling robe is the treasure for a takeaway.
Mike Norvell, to me, is a very hot commodity for other schools out there. I think what he's done this year, last year, the wins, he's the most winningest coach in their first 3 seasons at Memphis. I love his offense. I mean, this is a pro-style system in spread presentation. They lined up an I backfield today, folks, with a defensive lineman and ran it down the throat, or they can spread you out. This guy's versatile. He's got a great mind, and they're going to have to try to hold on to this guy because I think he's become a very hot coach in the landscape of college football.
Big second half, and they've gone over 400 yards rushing today. And they will beat Houston to set up a rematch. Nobody's taken down UCF in 2 years, but Memphis has come the closest. And there you hear the chants right there.
How special is this, Beth? Senior center Drew Kaiser, his 50th start today. Basically ran right behind him the entire game. Pretty unbelievable.
Memphis doesn't have to snap it again. The celebration underway. And they are into the AAC championship game for the 2nd year in a row. Next Saturday on ABC, 3:30 Eastern. And an interesting post-game press conference coming up for Major Applewhite and the Houston Tigers on the future of Ed Oliver. But first, Rocky's got Coach Norvell.
Coach, what a season. You lose 3 of your first 4 conference games. You battle back in an opportunity to win this game, and now you win the American West. How's this feel?
You know, just incredible. So happy for these guys. You know, the way they've competed, they responded to adversity. Man, football's like the game of life. So I'm just going to get knocked down. You just got to continue to focus on getting better each and every day, and these guys have absolutely done that.
Now, it was clear when Ed Oliver was out of the game, your plan was to run the ball. Take us through some of those conversations.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to pound the ball. You know, in the first half, we wanted to set the tempo. I think we had over 50 plays, and then, you know, try to wear them down there at the end, and, you know, our kids did a great job of finishing.
Coach, you got UCF next week here, a team you lost to early in the season. What's going to be the key against them?
Man, it's such a great team, but, you know, we're gonna go to work. We're going to continue to prepare, but I believe in this football team. I know they're going to go give everything they have.
Coach, congrats. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Rocky. The Memphis Tigers and UCF for the conference championship next Saturday. Coming up next, it's Virginia and Virginia Tech. 52-31, the final. Memphis over Houston, as we say so long from the Liberty Bowl.